Good day everyone, I'm Teacher Justin, and for today let's talk about finding the discriminant and nature of roots of our quadratic equations. We are all familiar with the quadratic equation, which is x is equal to negative b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, yung radicand na b squared minus 4ac, that is what we call the discriminant. Okay, ano nga ba yung discriminant? So, ang discriminant will determine the number of real solutions of our quadratic equations. So, it will tell us kung real number ba yung makukuha natin or imaginary. It will also tell us kung yung real number na makukuha natin, is it rational or irrational numbers. So, let's identify the nature of roots using the discriminant. So, ang sisimulan nating step is for us to find the discriminant of our quadratic equation. So, ang formula natin is d is equal to b squared minus 4ac. Now, pag nakuha na natin yung ating discriminant, we will compare it to 0. Is it greater than 0, equal to 0, or less than 0? So, ano nga ba yung mga numbers greater than 0? So, ito yung mga numbers na positive. So, kung ang discriminant natin ay positive, ang susunod nating step is to identify if it is perfect square. Pag perfect square yung ating discriminant, we can say that we will be expecting to have two real, rational, and unequal roots. So, two real, rational, unequal roots. Pag hindi naman perfect square ang ating discriminant na positive, okay, we are expecting to have two real, irrational, unequal roots. If our discriminant is equal to 0, we are expecting to have two real, rational, and equal roots. Yan yung ina-expect nating nature ng ating roots. Okay, pag less than 0 naman, ano yung mga numbers less than 0? Mga negative. So, pag negative yung lumabas na value ng ating discriminant, automatic, our nature of roots will be two imaginary, unequal roots. And that's it. That will be the steps in identifying the discriminant and nature of roots of our quadratic equation. Ta-da! Alright, let's have an example. Let's identify the discriminant and describe the nature of roots of this quadratic equation. So, meron tayo ditong x squared plus 5x minus 6 is equal to 0. So, ang first step natin is let's solve for the discriminant. So, kunin natin yung values ni A, B, and C. So, yung A natin is positive 1, yung B natin is 5, and yung C natin is negative 6. Now, ang formula natin for the discriminant is B squared minus 4AC. Substitute natin, that will give us square of 5 minus 4 times 1 times negative 6. Let's simplify this using the order of operation. We will have 25, tapos negative 4 times 1 times negative 6, that will give us positive 24. And then 25 plus 24, that will give us 49. So, ang discriminant natin is 49. Ang susunod nating step is to compare it with 0. So, ang discriminant natin is greater than 0. Now, ang susunod nating titignan is perfect square ba yung discriminant natin. So, since 49 is a perfect square number, yes, it is a perfect square number, we can now say that yung roots natin, yung nature ng roots natin will be two real, rational, unequal roots. And that's it! Ta-da! Alright, let's solve for the discriminant and nature of roots of this quadratic equation. Meron tayong 5x squared minus 4x plus 2 is equal to 0. So, ang first step natin in finding the discriminant is to identify the values of A, B, and C. So, yung A natin is 5, B is negative 4, and C is positive 2. Now, let's use the formula in getting the discriminant. We have B squared minus 4AC. Substitute natin yung ating values ni A, B, and C. That will give us the square of negative 4 minus 4 times 5 times 2. Let's apply the order of operation. We will have d is equal to square of negative 4, that will be 16. Negative 4 times 5 times 2, that will give us negative 40. Now, subtract natin 16 minus 40, that will give us negative 24. Now, ang discriminant natin is negative 24. Let's compare it to 0. So, our discriminant will be less than 0. If our discriminant is less than 0, then we are expecting that the nature of our roots will be 2 imaginary unequal roots. And that's it. Ta-da! Alright. Let's solve for the discriminant and nature of roots of this quadratic equation. 9x squared minus 12x plus 4 is equal to 0. Okay, let's solve for the discriminant. So, let's identify the values of a, b, and c. So, a natin is 9, b is negative 12, and c is positive 4. Yung discriminant formula natin is b squared minus 4ac. Substitute natin yung corresponding values nila. That will give us the square of negative 12 minus 4 times 9 times 4. So, let's apply the order of operation. So, d is equal to the square of negative 12 will be 144. Negative 4 times 9 times 4, that will give us negative 144. Now, 144 minus 144, that is equal to 0. Now, if our discriminant is equal to 0, so the nature of our roots of this quadratic equations will be 2 real, rational, equal roots. And that's it. Tada! Alright, let's solve for the discriminant and nature of roots of this quadratic equation. We have 6x squared minus 13x plus 7 is equal to 0. So, ang first step natin is to identify the values of a, b, and c. So, yung a natin is 6, b is negative 13, c is equal to 7. Now, let's use our formula for discriminant. It will be b squared minus 4ac. Let's replace all values of a, b, and c dito sa ating formula. So, we have 13 squared minus 4 times 6 times 7. Now, let's simplify using the order of operation. D is equal to 169. Negative 4 times 6 times 7 will be negative 168. Now, let's subtract 169 minus 168. That will give us D is equal to 1. So, our discriminant is equal to 1. Now, let's compare it to 0. Since positive yung nakuha nating discriminant, automatic it is greater than 0. And let's check if it is perfect square. So, 1 is a perfect square number. So, it is a perfect square. Now, our nature of roots for this quadratic equation will be 2 real, rational, unequal roots. And that's it. Ta-da! Alright. Let's solve for the discriminant and identify the nature of roots of this quadratic equation. 3x squared plus 5x minus 6 is equal to 0. So, ang first step natin is to identify the values of a, b, and c. So, yung a natin is 3, b is 5, and c is negative 6. Now, gamit tayo ng ating formula for the discriminant, which is b squared minus 4ac. Let's substitute their corresponding value. That will give us 5 squared minus 4 times 3 times negative 6. Now, let's simplify this using the order of operation. Our discriminant is equal to 5 squared. That will be 25. Negative 4 times 3 times negative 6. That will be positive 72. Now, let's add 25 and 72. That will give us 97. Now, 97, compare natin siya to 0. So, our discriminant is greater than 0. And let's see if it is a perfect square number. 97 is not a perfect square number. Therefore, ang nature of roots natin will be 2 real, irrational, unequal roots. And that's it. Ta-da! Alright. And that is it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have comments, questions, recommendations, suggestions for my next video, please leave them in our comment section below. Share this video and subscribe. And for more videos like this, you can go to my channel, Teacher Justin. And that is it for today. Again, I'm Teacher Justin. Goodbye, God bless, and stay safe. See you on my next video. Peace.